So let's look at Ivan's list. So Ivan's list is bringing back the Beast Boss on foot. Everybody appreciates him. You know, we could use him a little more now in the meta if he was a little cheaper. Captain Badrock, Mazrak, Scragbag. Just 3. Very light on characters. I appreciate that. 1, 2, 3 units of Beast Snagga Boyz. A lot of people just opt for the expensive battle line for the most part, just because the additional pip of strength, the odd feel no pain that can kind of throw enemies' math off, the re-rolls into vehicles and monsters can come into play. Trucks, only 1. Flash gets 1 unit of Gretchen, but the real twist here you get is 1, 2, 3 kill rigs. What's up? Whoa! And you guys know why I WAD if you've been watching, because I constantly talk about how the kill rig may not be meta, may not be the baddest data sheet in our on our index, but it is a very well-rounded data sheet, playing almost every phase of 40k. Not only does it transport, not only does it shoot, not only does it support in the fight phase, it also supports it actually fights itself moderately well with decent OC and an odd durability built into it. Everybody can appreciate auto-hitting las cannons, giving +1 strength in the fight phase, all these different things. But as we like to talk about, you do need to tech into multiple. If you have just one, you're giving away, someone's free target for whatever anti-vehicle weapon that they have. This is a meta-dependent call for you gets, but this should encourage you guys to get out there, build your kill rigs, still be motivated to use the list that you want to do and the models you want to do, because don't pay attention to the meta. The reason we talk about the meta here is so you understand what's generally accepted and good, and then you take your own war boss knowledge and experience, your own anecdotal understanding, and the context of your terrain and the missions you're playing, and you use that. And that's what this player did. 1, 2, 3 Squighog Boyz, all 3-man units. I personally like using a knob with 6 and as a brick with Ed Wappa. He didn't care. Just go for 3-man units. They're great for their points, hard to displace for 125 points, great for trading. Then 2 units of Storm Boyz. So as you can see, he just went for the flash gets, what's known as the meta, just because they're really our only shooting option. You want to engage in every shooting in every phase of 40k. Like I always say, kill rigs allow you to do that, but the flash gets really need to do that. So I really love how he fit this list in very clean. He has Boyz for every rig. He has just enough squigs to play the outside of the table, maybe commit early to kind of get people to invest, whatever it may be, and then just a couple of characters. Try not to bring it down to max level, and not go crazy on character assassinate and bring it down. So keep in mind, he did want to play the way he wanted to, but he understood I can't give away a bunch of full fixed secondaries. That being said, let's look into this gets matchup. So for game 1, he ended up going into, because context matters, Tau Empire. Now, Tau are going to get rule changes, so we're not going to take too much time here because their book has been released, but Tau do have some interesting rules and tests and combinations. So we have the Commander Farsight, Commander in Cold Star Battle Suit, for example, of the Kayan, 1 unit of broadside battle suits along a big brick of crisis battle suits with another big brick of crisis battle suits. Already that's looking very elite. 2 units of crew hounds, 2 piranhas, 2 skyray gunships, stealth battle suits, and then 2 tetras with Vespid. Well, I will say is when you start looking at something like crisis, and then broadside, the issue is for Tau against us is that we will crash into them too quickly, and they really have to wait until turn 3 to get their damage off on us. Therefore, with this many points invested in about 3 units, they don't have enough chaff and things of stuff in our way to delay us long enough for them to get off, right? So if you maximize the terrain, you understand the mission doesn't favor that they castle, you can really have a good time into them, and he did with a 98-point win. Turn game 2 though, and this was his loss. Actually, I already had a list pulled up. It was against Leagues of Votann, which actually directly matches what we were talking about with what's a difficult matchup for us, right? So we have an Einhir champion, another Einhir champion with Grim Demeanor. 1, 2, 3 Sagitar. Love that they can scout. They have great anti-tank for what they are, for their cheapness. And what really gets me, not only are they T10, but they have the additional PIB of O, meaning they have 3 OC for their transport. Very troublesome sometimes as Orc players, because our mission can be, hey, we might not take you off of the primary, but we can deny you the primary, but just tagging in with something, enough stuff to just get you not to get it. I don't even have to charge you sometimes. I just get there, deny you the primary. Now you have to commit to kill me. Not actually pushed on the other side of the table. In this case, Sagittarius required just a little bit more. You can't just go tag your own truck there. So we have 2 units of Brokir Thunderking, right? Gravitron blasters with their conversion rate, awesome. 3 units of the Catonian Berserkers. One thing here is that this grenade launcher actually inhibits your movement, charging, stuff like that by -2. Great movement modifier, very annoying, but if everything's popped in a rig, that's kind of nice for a transport. Yet this army does have the capability to pop those rigs. We have a 1 unit, just 1, of the Terminator brick. I like that he didn't overinvest in that. I think when they go for 2, they end up running out of resources. But he does have 2 units of the Hecaton land fortresses. Go ahead and put a Berserker unit in there. Put the fortress up to the middle of the table as good OC, good durability. I'll actually show its data sheet right now because I wanted to point it out. So with this data sheet in your shooting phase, after the model is shot, select one enemy unit that scored 1 or more hit against until the end of the phase. Each time a friendly unit that disembarked from this unit, oh my god, this transport makes a normal attack the enemy, you can re-roll the wound roll. Keep in mind, when things do come out of there, they become more killy against whatever they shot into. They ignore cover. But what I really want to point out here is this SP heavy conversion beamer, which is what the player was running. He has conversion. Excuse me, let me take the little add off so you can actually see. He has conversion and sustain D3. Conversion means that it's actually critical if you're greater than 12 inches from them. That means you're going to actually get critic sustains on 4 pluses. So those 2 shots can drastically, quickly become very damaging, very punishing, sitting at strength 10, -2, 4 damage. So, and like I like to point out here, 5 OC does matter. Built-in durability does matter. And he can get those berserkers to run out and try to charge you, even put chaff in the way if he decides to, if he knows you're going to try to charge him, because berserkers are very much kind of chaffy, right? So great anti-take firepower there for the most part. I know it's only strength 10, but for orcs, it's kind of just what you need because kill rigs are just T10. And of course, he's going to go token, right? What they choose very much does matter. If they choose to token Maz, sometimes that's an issue for them because then they have to commit into him. So there's a lot of factors here. And then, of course, everybody's favorite 3 pioneers. That's why you got to play the table edges. This is their primary scoring potential, right? If they give you the pioneers, you're in a great position. If they keep them back or you don't stop the edge of the tables coming in, they're going to constantly score their secondary for them. And then once you've been dwindled down, because they have moderate firepower as well, right here, they have moderate firepower as well, then they just keep coming back and your edge of the table deeper into your deployment. And then it becomes overwhelming. So he did lose this game, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. They are actually a difficult matchup, and it is what it is. It really comes down to what tools you have. Just want to say, whoa, for Jay Hoon for the gifted 5 wall tactic memberships. I greatly appreciate you. You get very generous of you. I'm always very grateful for you, and great love to the wall. These new gets in here, can catch up and get caught stuck in as Boyz runs. Be a part of the Great WAAAGH. So I thank you very much, Jay Hoon. Did he say anything? And then that trick for firing back on 1 CP is dead killy. Lost a whole unit of flash gets that way. Yes, and they can actually shoot back at you for a strat, which is annoying. So they're just a difficult matchup because our flash gets are like, no, he just shot me. All right. So in his third matchup, he actually did win this one because that's the only one loss he took was to Leagues of Votann. So going forward, he won all his games. Right here, we have Imperial Knights. Canis Rex. Canis Rex, literally Rex. Great profile across the table. Great into orcs in every way. Fantastic model. Just needs to be played right. Knight Errant with unyielding Perigon. We have 1, 2 Helvrins, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Warglaves with 1 Caladius Assassin. This list is pretty meta. Played right into this. I played into, I think, this almost the same exact list, except for it doesn't have the assassins. It has some Inquisitor henchmen, possibly, I think, and some other, one of the other Inquisitors. With that being said, in this list, mission very much does matter. You understanding that if you WAAAGH early, just because you're worried about them and you end up just WAAAGing into a couple of the Warglaves, then you're out in the open. Canis Rex is going to have a free grain with you all day, every day. Understanding that you might actually want to take a fixed secondary in this mission. That way you can probably bring it down, possibly do a cleanse or deploy, so you can stay and just slightly commit. Okay, now that you've come up and I've dwindled you down a little bit, you're close enough for me to get off on you. WAAAGH, going to you, right? But they're going to not want to commit to you. Canis is going to play the back of the table a little bit, knowing that he's waiting for your WAAAGH. So this really just comes down to a game of patience and understanding from you as an orc player. But it's still difficult. Just letting you know, it's still difficult. I'm telling you, that's what helps in the matchup, but it can be difficult if you don't bring the proper tools. But I appreciate them. I get understood to do it because he got a 98-point win right there. Let's go. Whoa. All right. For his fourth matchup, we have the Black Templars. So he has an Apothecary, Captain Grimaldus, and High Marshal Helbrick, followed by 1, 2 lieutenants. Are they the same? I think they are. Yeah, but one has the Witch Seeker Bolts, and then a Marshal. Quite character heavy here, I'm just going to say. We have a Crusader squad, 1, 2, with 1 Impulsor, 2 big units of Blade Guard veterans. I can appreciate that. Only 1 in squad. Land Raider, Sword Brethren, and then a Scout squad. So it's not that this isn't killy and a not effective list. It's that it's not doing combined arms well, and the fact that we can fight on death and start doing trades with them. He actually doesn't have anything great. Let me see to really pop the rigs. Besides, even then, this Land Raider's a redeemer, so the rigs can actually optimize all of their multi-phase capabilities here because they're not getting popped any of the threat saturation. People might overestimate how killy they are and be scared of them, actually, not understanding they have terrible AP even if you tell them. So it's still great nonetheless. So just know that this is still a good list if you're playing heavy elite as an orc player yourself, but you're having transports, which is something we definitely appreciate. You understanding to always save your AP. I always say that when you're talking in the power armor armies like Black Templars or CSM, stuff like that, Blood Angels, you need to know, Space Wolves, you need to know I gotta be patient and save my CP. I'm not gonna hard as nails right now because I'm gonna fight in death, right? You need to know to hold on to 3 CP so that you can fight on death, unbridled carnage, stuff like that. Really does come down to CP management. I'll definitely go tactical against these gits for the most part. Then we have so he did end up winning that one, and then his last matchup was against Chaos Space Marines. What was I just talking about? I'm just kidding. I do my homework. All right, so one Lord of Discordant on Hellstalker. I really like that model. So then he's not really common right now. 1, 2, 3 cultists, because cultists are dope with Nurgle's mark. A Predator Annihilator, so cheap for that point cost. 130 is awesome, right? I wish we had something that was, that durable and could do damage at 130 points. Oh, Square Card Boys. But it's just like that we actually gotta run down and get you our trade. So we have Chaos, Predator Destructor, another Destructor, followed by Hellbrute, 2 Mauler Fiends. Mauler Fiends are slept on. An Obliterator, big brick Obliterator. Just know this big brick of Obliterators, give it a chance, and he is definitely one-shotting your Mazra, even with indirect. Just saying. All right. So be careful. 2 Venom Crawlers, followed by a Beast of Nurgle, triple Nurglings. This list is very, very much the old-fashioned CSM gun line that had kind of gone to the wayside when everybody was running Chosen. So the terrain and mission will definitely matter in this one as well. But if you're in the open, this list will definitely annihilate you. You must jump from terrain to terrain piece, not overcommit, and understand that if you're in the open, giving these things away and trying to stat check them, you can have a hard time. That being said, they're going to have to get multiple activations on to kill so many kill rigs. They're going to have to get, so many kill rigs. You still got Maz. You still got other stuff going on the field. And they can't actually play the primary game reliably into you with this kind of list. So therefore, you're just kind of like, oh, well, I guess I might have died here, but you got no primary. Sorry. So there you go. It's one of those games where you are probably going to be tabled by the end of it, but you can still throw up a heavy score. Or if he played too passively, you just ran him over, right? So Ivan was a great general. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Ivan was a great general, showed great generalships. He did not have an easy matchup, not have an easy walk. He went to several, top tier meta type lists. So great job to Ivan Andre for the war boss.